Hello everyone. Today we're going to go ahead and start breaking down our jelly roll packs into however we want to set up for our Bargello. So let's get this pack opened up and see how we're going to do ours. So let me get my thumbnail in there and get this little cutie pie opened up. I'm using Caribbean palette this go around, and I think it's going to turn out really cute. So let me get it opened up, and I'll slide that out of the way. And the way that this one's packaged, I just want to be sure when I open it up, I'm laying it flat. And then I'm going to open the other side and do the same thing. It's really important that when you open these up, this is the order that you keep them in, if that's the order that you want to sew them in, because you want to be consistent. So I'm going to take my paper and just lay it off and out of the way. So for right now, to keep this consistency, what I'm going to do is flip them over. And there's 42 in this roll. So what I want to do is I'm going to lay them like this. That way I'm not messing anything up. It's really important that you're doing what I'm telling you. And this little palette down here, I'm trying to decide, am I going to start with the yellow or am I going to start with the blue? I think I'm going to start with the blue, and that way where it comes into the valley and it's going to give that wave look. These shades of yellow should be where it's going to start that deep wave motion. So I don't want to mess these up. So I'm going to snap a little picture and I'm going to keep it in my phone. You don't need to do the whole length. You just need to get the consistency that each and every time when you stack them and you're pulling them up, you're going to have it. So I'm going to take my cell phone and I'm going to snap a shot. That way they're going to stay in the same. If they would get mixed up, I have them. So that's just a little tidbit. And each and every time that I'm moving this project along, what I'm going to do is pull from the top. So I'm going to take this stack and I'm going to stack it right here. Just like this. And as I'm joining all of this together, I'm just going to keep pulling from the top. I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it this way on my sew table. That way it's here and out of the way. I'm going to take the first one and I'm just going to lay it out. There's two different ways you can do this. But what I choose to do, and I'm using my table here so you can see, but normally I would be doing this over on my ironing board. And I'm just going to take the second one and I'm going to open it up. And you want to make sure that you're only grabbing one at a time. And you're going to put them face against each other. And you're going to try to line these up. And when you start off, this is where your funny little pin's going to come in handy. As you're sewing, I know that pin's too thick, so let me get a thinner one. I'll just use this one. It'll go in a lot easier. This is the end that I'm sewing on now, and when I finish getting this in, this pin will go to the bottom. And then every time you see the pin, that's your start line. That way you're moving it along. You're going to want to stay true to your 1/4 inch, and you're going to want to let your machine do your work. You're going to want to have yourself a little pack of bobbins ready to go, because this will eat a lot of your bobbins up with this. Put yourself in a new spool of thread and just basically let's get sewing. You're going to want to watch your 1/4 inch. You can do your seam guide tape as I have, or you can watch your foot. You don't want to pull this at all. It'll get askew and it'll get really stretchy. So just go slow. I'm going to check my stitch length. And I'm going to bring it up just a bit. I was checking all of this a minute ago, and I want to make sure that I've got everything lined up just the way I want it to go. So as you're doing this, kind of use your fingers here as a little guide as well. I like to use my middle fingers here, and I don't pull, I just guide. I use my thumbs under here, and you're going to let the machine do the work for you. And with that first little piece, you're just going to want to go slow. This is a fun project. It's not a race. Just be consistent with your 1/4 inch. Some people like to trim off these. I don't. I like to go with the edge. So you're going to see me do this all the way down. And your thumbs, when you're holding your hands like this, it's just like feeding it through a machine itself. And it's just going to help you keep the consistency of getting it lined up. And like I said, and you'll hear me say this many, many times throughout all of the video footage that you'll see, you don't want to be pulling on it. You want the machine to do the pulling, not you. And just stop periodically and check to make sure. You can also pin periodically through each and every one of these. And they do get twisted up. And then, as you'll see, the ends, they're supposed to all be cut the same. Every manufacturer is different. Some of them, they'll be different lengths, depending upon who you bought them from and how you've started yours. Don't worry about that inconsistency at the end, because we're going to trim them off when we turn this into a cylinder. And then, now we're down at the end. Remember, don't pull it, just let the machine do the work. We're going to be going over to the ironing board in just a second, and I'm going to show you how to press this first seam out. You don't need to back stitch. Just snip your seam. And here's where we started. I like to get those threads cut off as well. And I'm going to move my pin now down to the other end. I'm going to give it a little finger loving. And I know now, the one I just unfolded is where I'm going to join the next piece. And we're just going to keep building from there. So we're going to just finger press this out, and then we're going to press it down. In the first go round, you do not want these to get askew at all. That's going to give you the wave, and you don't want that wave in it. Try to keep it consistent and try to keep it straight. As it gets a little bit bigger, I will put a tape here, one of my rulers or something, to make sure that I'm keeping it flat. And it's really important to get all these seams flat as you can. And then we're back over here, and we're going to add the next piece. And you're going to do this 42 times. So you won't hear me talking now. You're going to see me sewing, and we're going to zip these babies in. And I'll see you back periodically from time to time, and you'll hear me talk. But for right now, just enjoy some music while I sew these in. Hello everyone and welcome back. We're to the segment right now to where I'm going to turn all of this goodness into the cylinder for the next step. Now, is this not a beautiful fabric line? I'm telling you right now, it's just gorgeous. All these colors are going to turn out fabulous. So I'll see you back in the next video. Take care and God bless.